G'day Blackboarders. By now it's probably clear that I like to use colour. I like to use colour on the blackboard. When I'm running strategy days, I like to use colour on the whiteboard. If you've ever seen me take notes, you know that I love to use colour when I'm taking notes. And if you jump into my diary, you'll see I use colour to code my diary. Now, why do I do that? Well, if you go all the way back to Blackboard Fridays episode 7, we talked about roles and responsibilities for the business owner, splitting your time down into 4 different categories. Black, which is wealth; green, which is growth; blue, which is revenue; red, which is admin. For me, color coding my diary along those lines helps me to do 2 things. One, it helps me to focus on different areas of activity at different times. If I've got a day full of sales meetings, I can have my head switched on just for sales. No point putting an administrative meeting right in the middle of that. And similarly, I can then look back and see where I've been spending my time. If you ever get to Friday afternoon and wonder where the week went, color coding your diary and your task list is a way to manage that. So I communicate this system with my team as well, so that when they look at my diary, they can see exactly what activity I'm up to. And if they need to get into my diary to ask me some questions or to run a debtors meeting, they can see at a glance exactly where that's best going to fit, so that my day isn't bouncing around between those 4 different categories. The last element, which we don't cover in that business, but I do for my diary, is some of that personal side of things. So in my system, I put personal activity in my diary as pink, and then yellow is personal FYI information. So when my beautiful wife sends me an email to let me know that she's going to be on a plane, which is actually what she's doing right now as we speak, that can sit in my diary, but I can tell at a glance that, because it's yellow, is not something that's going to get in the way of my day. It's just for my information. You'll also see I've broken down blue into light blue and dark blue to separate the sales meeting activity and the actual client delivery of work. Again, in the early days of your business, you'll be doing a lot more sales than client delivery. You want to make sure that you get that balance right so that you've got money coming in the door and you're constantly ahead of the curve. Now in Blackboard Fridays episode 8, we set everybody the task of going through and determining exactly how much of their time they wanted to spend in each of those 4 areas. So for me right now, and this is something that can change as your business moves through its life cycle, right now I need to be spending 5% of my time, which is about a half a day a fortnight, on wealth building activity, and 5% of my time on admin and financials. They're humming along nicely. They're not a major focal point as I shift into the scale-up phase for business advisory. I need to be doing the client work, which takes up about 50% of my time, and I need to be dedicating 10% of my time, half a day a week, a day a fortnight, on that sales activity to make sure that as client projects conclude, there are new client projects coming in and that revenue is humming along. That revenue is energy for my business. Because I'm moving from startup into scale up, from the blue phase into the green phase, I need to make sure I'm dedicating a decent amount of time to the green. Now, the green is one of the hardest elements of your business to schedule because it's often time that you're spending by yourself. It's not necessarily a half day or a whole day meeting that you're doing. It's building new product, development, culture. So make a point, even if you don't have a lot of meetings in your diary, to be scheduling chunks of time for you to focus on these different areas. That will make sure that you actually commit to that time, that you do what needs to be done for the percentage that you've set for what your business needs. And again, because of the colours, it helps you see where your time went and help communicate to your team exactly what you're doing across all of these critical areas of business. Plus, it's a heck of a lot more exciting on a Monday morning to open up a diary that looks like that than a diary that's just black and white.